So now there's a CNN article that has gone after Jimmy Dore of the Jimmy Dore Show. And I'm sure you guys know about the 2 adpocalypses that happened. The first one happened, and it kind of sort of dwindled, and it kind of went away, but then it really came back in full force. And now this is most likely going to cause like another wave of adpocalypse where they crack down on the rules, and they start demonetizing a bunch of new people. Now, here's what happened. So basically, CNN wrote this article. It's entitled, "Exclusive YouTube ran ads from hundreds of brands on extremist channels." Now, here's the problem that comes in. So as you guys know, the mainstream media, there's nothing that the mainstream media loves to do more than beat the war drum. They love to beat the drum for war. That's what they did in the run-up to Iraq, and that's what they've been doing now. For example, Fareed Zakaria, he's super against Trump on pretty much almost everything. But, you know, when he did the first Syrian airstrike, he said that today is the day that Donald Trump became the president of the United States. And all these, you know, pundits start finally agreeing with Trump and going, oh, yeah, you know, great, awesome. The mainstream media loves to push war, and Jimmy Dore does not. He is completely against it. Independent media, especially on the left, is against this. And so here's what they wrote. The article talks about Alex Jones and a neo-Nazi. So they're basically comparing a neo-Nazi and Alex Jones to Jimmy Dore of the Jimmy Dore Show. Now it says, quote, "Ads also appeared on the Jimmy Dore Show channel, a far-left YouTube channel that peddles conspiracy theories, such as the idea that Syrian chemical weapon attacks are hoaxes." So first of all, far-left. He's a social democrat. How is that? In whose mind is that far-left? A far-left is someone who's either a full-on socialist or a communist. He's a social democrat. Let's have a welfare state. We need a welfare state. Now, that peddles conspiracy theories, there has been no independent investigation done on whether or not it was actually Assad who did the attack. Number 2, logically speaking, although I don't think that that's 100% proof that he didn't do it, you know, the question you have to ask is, why would he do a gas attack on his own people that would end up pulling in the U.S. if he's already winning the war? That makes zero sense whatsoever. However, you know, it still is plausible that he would do it, but there's been no independent investigation done whatsoever. And also, you can draw parallels to this from the Iraq War. Recall that prior, you know, the run-up to the Iraq War, the American people were tricked by the fake and fabricated information and lies that the Iraqi, you know, that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, which was complete bullshit. It was made up by the Bush administration. It was made up by Rumsfeld. It was made up by John Bolton, who now, by the way, National Security Advisor of the United States. Look what the U.S. is doing now. You know, obviously, you can draw parallels there. You know, this is something that is not something that, you know, is a conspiracy theory. And this is the problem. You know, calling him far left, he's not far left, and then somehow drawing parallels or comparisons between him and Alex Jones, and they talk about a neo-Nazi who they banned off the site. You're telling me you're going to compare Jimmy Dore of the Jimmy Dore Show to a neo-Nazi? Jimmy Dore has many videos supporting Colin Kaepernick's protest. He calls out, you know, racist shit. And you're going to compare this guy to a neo-Nazi. He's somebody who wants us to stop bombing these countries, killing innocent children who are not white. So it's like, how can you compare him to a neo-Nazi? And Alex Jones, please, bitch, please. And this is the problem. This is going to end up leading into, this article is going to end up leading to, this is going to, who knows how long it's going to take, but all it's going to take is for creators to realize, holy shit, I just got a new wave of demonetization. What the fuck just happened? That's what's going to happen, and this is going to lead to a whole nother kind of outbreak, that just as it happened with the second time where, you know, the Washington Post and some other, I think the London Times or something like that, wrote some article and it made everyone go crazy. And it's going to lead to the Jimmy Dore Show may end up getting massively demonetized. And other independent media news outlets, as you guys know, is already suffering massively, not only just from demonetization, but also the algorithm fucking them over. So that's why you should be supporting independent media in other ways, you know, through Patreon or whatever, you know, because that's the only way people can really go now. They're trying to, you know, attack the source of income that comes. And this is just a massive false equivalence that's hilariously stupid. And this is why independent news is so important, is because they're ones who are countering the mainstream media news narrative of this beating the war drum constantly, and they're telling the truth. And this is the problem. So Jimmy Dore is not a far left conspiracy theorist. He's, you know, your run-of-the-line social democrat who's just explaining what he sees. So equating him to Alex Jones and neo-Nazi is complete bullshit. And this is why, you know, independent media news outlets like Jimmy Dore, you know, channels like myself and others have been destroyed by demonetization and need support on places like Patreon. And that's why you should be supporting independent news media creators. This article from CNN is an abortion of an article, and it's just absolutely horrendous and terrible.